Hi, my name is Angel Hernandez, and I'll be doing this week's video announcements. And on Monday, April 3rd, the only thing that we have scheduled right now is high school boys golf tournament, and so we want to wish them the best luck. And on this day in history, in 1860, the Pony Express began service. As crazy as this sounds, the Pony Express used relays of horse-mounted riders who traveled between Missouri and California, moving at 10 miles per hour. That's crazy. It took about 10 days to deliver a letter or message. It didn't last long because the Transcontinental Telegraph was established on April 24th, 1861. And hey, Mr. Best, you teach history, so what can you tell me about this?
Well, that whole thing has been kind of romanticized and turned into sort of American folklore. They had to have something like, I think it's 185, 86 stations along the way, and so the rider would go really fast, and every 10 miles had to switch horses, get on a new one that's refreshed and fed and ready to roll, and then just keep rocking and rolling. It really went bankrupt as part of the problem. They just couldn't make it work. But it's kind of been seen now as sort of an example of that American frontier can-do spirit. So that's a good historical fact. Thanks, Angel.
On Tuesday, April 4th, there'll be Buckaroo Baseball versus Brog played there, and there'll also be Lady Buckaroo Softball also played there, and times will be to my right. And there'll be a district junior high track meet for Broncos and Lady Broncos at Peaster. Also, there'll be 3rd and 5th grade robotics, and it's the monthly band booster meeting. Also today is National School Librarian Day, so make sure to thank your librarian for a job well done.
Definitely.
And here's a fun fact. On this day in history in 1964, the Beatles had the #1 album for the 8th consecutive week with a #1, #2, #4, and #5 songs on the charts all at the same time. That's just pretty incredible. On Wednesday, April 5th, there'll be the FFA Wildlife Region 5 contest, and there's a 4-H meeting at 7:40 a.m. faculty meeting at the junior high. And here's a fun fact. On this day in history, in 1621, the Mayflower set sail from Plymouth, Massachusetts for its return trip home. It took the Mayflower originally 10 weeks at sea to reach North America when it first arrived in November. And hey, Mr. Best, you teach history. You want to let us know anything about that?
Try to picture being on a ship that is smaller in some ways than this classroom as far as like the amount of space you have to move around in for 10 weeks. And they stayed down in the bottom of it, and they only had like 5-foot ceilings.
5 foot?
Yeah, you couldn't even stand up. How tall are you?
At least 6.
So they're very cramped,
Oh, yeah.
And then they also had sometimes to take the sails down, it's called hulling. When the storm is so severe, if you left the sails up, it just ripped the boat to shreds. I'm really glad to be hopping into a 2023 Toyota Camry on the way home here in a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. On Thursday, April 6th, there'll be 4th grade robotics, and there'll be Lady Buckaroo Softball versus Comanche. Also, there'll be Buckaroo Baseball versus Comanche played there, and times will be to my right. Here's a fun fact. On this day in history, in 1896, Pierre Baron de Coubertin realized his goal of reviving the Olympics of ancient Greece. When the first modern games opened in Athens, originally Olympic Games were staged in Olympia, Greece, hence the name, from 776 BC to 393 AD. So it took 1,503 years for them to return. Cool. Also, speaking about track, this week is bye week for high school track, so there'll be no track meet. On Friday, April 7th, it's a school holiday for Good Friday. Good Friday is an important religious holiday for Christians throughout the world. It commemorates the crucifixion and death of Jesus Christ, and is the most solemn day of the Christian year. It is the day before Easter Sunday, which celebrates the resurrection of Jesus. I want to wish everybody a good week, a great 3-day weekend, and happy Easter. Go Bucks and Broncos!